we're going. We're going. Greetings and salutations. It's our sweet factory town. Let's get the live stream voice chat here in case people decide to join us. So here is our attempt at a main bus for Factory Town, and as you might notice, we're already starting to run quite a bit out of room. A lot of this stone is a problem. Even this little farm that we have going down here is a bit of a problem. So yeah, I've been moving things and doing stuff in hopes that I can just store a bunch of this stuff and get it out of the way. Unfortunately, this is like the not very convenient area here. May have to do some shopping around and see if I can't find another place here. And then I think this barn, yeah, this barn has been getting. Alright, so let's, I don't think moving costs us any money. There we go. So these guys are gathering the resources, just dumping it into these barns. I'm kind of moving these barns around like big in big clumps of stuff. Alright, so Talab says, good morning. Is that a bot I see? Have I been replaced? The stream elements has always kind of done that for a while. But yeah, everything else is the same. Alright, how come now all of a sudden this music is not playing? Like it was fine earlier. Alright, so let's check out the options. Let's turn the music up a little bit, shall we? Alright. So, no, Tlab, you do not have to worry about a bot in particular. You are fighting fresh. Alright, so what's wrong with you? Why aren't you just grabbing these trees, getting them out of here? Yeah, I saw that. Looks like people were queuing up music pretty good. What's going on over here? What are you guys supposed to be doing? You're supposed to be getting rid of trees in the way? Alright, we'll keep getting rid of trees in the way. Alright, what other little exclamation points do we have floating around that we need to deal with this morning? Looks good then. Alright. Let's check our basic resources up here. Yellow coins, good. Red coins, good. Blue coins, so-so. Purple coins, nothing. Even Versh subbed last night. Nice, buddy. Alright, so what are we cashing in for purple coins? I know that we have something going. Not for the life of me remember what it is that we're making that sold for purple coins though. And this chick is just trying to put rails away. Okay. It's fine for now. We got our people back up to 50 happiness and we can upgrade our base again. And you have a new sub bet. You're just like kicking it today, huh? Alright, we have a little problem with that. I'm not sure where that came from. Just delete this fertilizer. Like, it does need fire, but I don't need fertilizer in there. Not sure where that fertilizer came from. Huh, yeah, I don't know. Barn's full. How's this barn going? This can't even keep up. Oh yeah, you got the clanking glasses, is what you're saying. Congratulations. Alright, so this iron is full. So it really needs for this person to move. There, boom, pause. Set up a chute right here. And then we'll start emptying this out here. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I gotta figure out some more of my sub badges as well too. Alright, let's just move this out of the way. Put this one up here in the way. I don't know how many more we have over here, but it's probably a couple. So this is the... it's kind of pointless that I'm just digging out all this junk. The thing is, though, any resources that I have to take the time to re-pick up later, or in some cost me resources now to move, will be a massive pain. Wow, that's a... should I just flatten this? We got a little bit of gold. Seems like a bad idea. But maybe if I just gently... maybe I'll make like a little plateau. Make sure I have enough room to do stuff. Alright, are we good? That's probably good for now. Alright. Alright, we have more barns to move. Isn't it fun? This is almost where I go, do we really need all these stone piled up somewhere? Can we just say enough is enough and remove it? I mean, each one of these rocks is like 200. So even just like right here in this path, we're talking 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. You're talking at least 1,000 in this one row. That's crazy. Alright, what's going on here? Well, if you're on, I wouldn't mind you doing mine also. God, I really need that. I just need to find a website to do it. Oh, you suck at all the arts? Okay, I'm sorry. I've been concentrating on this. What do you need me to do? Build some badges for you? I guess we're just gonna go ahead and do it. Nothing? Okay. Because, like, I could I can help you do some artwork stuff if you want. My biggest problem now is that I have a hard time. I spend all my time trying to market the arena stuff, and I don't think about marketing my own things. Yeah, I still need you to get these stones out of here. Just kind of make a few. It's going to make them a little bit smaller here. And then we might even make it just a little bit smaller even still. I can't move these rocks, right? No, I didn't think so. Okay. Well, if you have something you need done, you just need to talk to me and let me know what I can do. I'm not really an artist. I basically cut and edit other people's work into what I'm looking for. Alright, what were you guys doing? You guys were moving the potatoes? The potatoes are gone. Is that what's going on? Okay. That must be why she was complaining. Alright, let's just park you guys here for now. I think this crate can be moved out of the way. Put you up here. Wagons in particular cost me additional resources, so I don't want to just delete them. Schoolwork. Alright, so what are you guys all working on? You guys are all working on the logistics blocks. What's going on? We're just having a... Because this takes blue or purple coins, right? Yeah. Oh, that's right. I remember. So yeah, find me a top hat that you like, and I can change the band color. All right. So what did we didn't unlock a new building, did we? Like the enchanter. We have the magic forge now. All right. So let's take a look at this magic forge. I think is here. Magic Forge makes mana crystals and mana bricks. Alright, so we have some magic crystals. Things are starting to backlog. We need more purple coins is the thing. So what else can we do to make purple coins? Make a fancy cake. Oh, that's right. We're making apple pies for our fancy coins.
Morning, sir.
Hey, what's up?
Not a whole lot. Day off number 2, which means that I can't go fishing today. I have to do longer.
Well, that happens to us all. I can't even tell you all the days that I don't go farming. Alright, let's just grab another wagon. Or fishing. What now? Who's resubscribing?
Not a single day I don't go farming.
That's right, Farmville. To lab! Top hat to lab. Thank you, my mother brother. Alright, so now let's move this guy.
It's a farmer's life.
Oh man. Alright, there we go.
And this whole I'm broken and don't get to go on spring break thing sucks.
Welcome to grown-up life.
So I probably wouldn't be a normal college student.
Pretty much always
Go to a
sucks.
museum or something. I could go walk around the Gettysburg.
I don't think you're needed anymore.
You've been watching the news about Notre Dame, right?
Basically everything I watched about Notre Dame was just the... This poo. Oh, okay, we're putting in poo. Basically I've just been watching the... I watched it yesterday on the live stream and then I kind of set it out of the side.
That's me. I didn't get to see it in person.
Well, it'll be back. Don't...
No, yeah, they already said they're gonna but it's not the trees that were used for the roof aren't gonna be from the 1100s.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's not going to be perfecto, but... It'll be... similar.
Take my kids and be like, kids, this building burned down. Your dad was 21 when they rebuilt it. What else happened that year, Dad? I don't actually quite remember.
Not a lot.
That was kind of the highlight of 2019.
I don't know. We'll see. There's still a lot going on. Alright, so this part is full.
Oh, and Game of Thrones. That'll be the other thing.
Take it back. I don't think I need that. Alright, these guys are carrying over sugar. So we need more grain over here now. Fine.
Gotta eat, my guy.
Well, so I'm trying to research the stuff so I can more easily make these blue or these purple coins. The easiest way to do that is with cake or pies, I think. I'm not 100% sure, but I think it's the easiest way to do it is with pies. And I
Eat some wheat.
don't. Yeah, I need to get more grain in the grain mill here. So I'm gonna take this barn and I'm gonna move it over here because that's what you can do in this game. You can just pick up a barn and move it because you're like
If only life works like a video game.
yeah. You just click on it and move it.
Horses need more hay. Let me get my computer on and move it.
Yes.
Oh, the cows need to get moved. Let me just send some people to do that. Oh, I should tell you my fishing story from yesterday because you'll think it's cute, but I was not having fun. So, basically, we rent some of our land out, right?
Right.
Used for cattle. And that happens to be where the family pond is. So the renter was technically supposed to be out already and not have any cattle there. And all but like 4 heifers and 2 calves were gone. So I went to try and fish under the assumption that the renter had taken all his cows. He had not taken all his cows. So I get there and there are a couple cows there, which doesn't really bother me. So I go to start fishing, and I turn around because my cork's in the water, and I'm standing up on the bank fishing, right? So I turn around, and this heifer is got her face in my chair and is like licking everything I brought with me.
Yeah.
And I can only assume that she can smell the apple that was in the cooler because she wanted in the cooler bad. Like, she would not leave the cooler alone. Like, that's the only thing I could think of that was in there that she could possibly have wanted. There was a 12-pack of Mountain Dew, package of beef jerky, which if that's what she wanted, that's sick and twisted. But it was completely sealed. I hadn't even opened it yet, so I doubt she could have smelled it. It was airtight. I couldn't smell it. There was an apple and a turkey sandwich, and that was it. Oh, and a container of worms.
Well, you'd be surprised what an animal can detect, okay, even through.
The funny thing was, so I pull my rod out of the water, and this cow wants to be scratched like a dog. It comes up and butts my head and won't go away until I scratch it behind the ears. So the cow realizes I don't have hay, so it leaves me alone and it goes back to the chair. So I try moving it like you would move any cattle when you're trying to sort cattle. I get up on its right side, I walk towards it, I make the little noise. I'm trying to move this cow like a normal farm guy would, and this cow will not move. It will not. I get on its left side thinking that its owner had moved it on the left its entire life. It still won't move. I grab it, its head completely under my arm, and I try pulling it, and this cow's never been shown before, so of course it's never been moved by a halter, so it just locks up, and it's officially too big for me to train it to move, and I didn't really want to take the time to train it to move just to get it away from a chair. So I eventually give up. So it scatters my cooler everywhere. It's trying to eat the chicken bait that I keep for catfish. You know that stink bait that you in a tube and you put it in the little container canister?
Yes.
Lures? Yeah, it's trying to eat that. It finds my hand soap and tries to eat that. So I take that away. I could care less about the stink bait. It decides it doesn't want the stink bait. And so the cow eventually leaves. So I go to cast again, and the wind has been outrageous all day. And I cast, and I'm aiming for the middle of the pond, and it starts going out. It goes straight, and then the wind picks it up about halfway there, and it blows it across the pond into the tree. And of course, I hadn't thought to buy new weights or new hooks. So there goes my last straight hook, and all I've got is lures. So I cut the string. I get as close to the tree as I can, so I don't lose a ton of line, and I cut it with my filleting knife. And I throw some lures, and the fish don't bite on it. And at that point, I pack up and leave. I was at the pond for maybe an hour.
Well, I mean, that's how fishing always seems to go for me.
Yes, because there's always a cow.
It just doesn't. Nothing ever happens for me when I go fishing. All right, so this bar needs to go again. Recharge. Oh, I should have been recharging this barn the whole time. Looks like they almost got this wheat out of here.
I've caught fish before, it's just not very often.
You or me? Me? I haven't caught a fish that wasn't inside of my aquaponics in years.
Have you tried?
A couple of times.
But you have an aquaponics system?
I did. Technically, I still do, but it's not. I'm not running it this summer.
You don't have fish or plants?
Correct. Correct. I currently. Well, I have the tanks and everything's basically. I mean, I could go put water into it and make sure everything is clean, and it would probably run. about the contents of this barn that much.
Raise it to the ground.
I do kind of want this this used though.
It will join its fate with no.
That's right.
Did you watch the latest episode of Game of Thrones, sir?
Nope. I've not.
I was hoping you would say no because I haven't either.
We will
It's on my DVR.
we'll probably get it sometime soon, but I haven't. So, we went ahead and pulled the trigger on YouTube TV last week. So we have not. It's fine. I don't watch that much television. I watch a lot of like Netflix and Amazon and stuff like that after the fact. And it's as fine of a tool as any for recording television shows. The things I like about it is, in particular, is that it's a permanent DVR. So unless you manually tell something to delete, it'll just be there, which I kind of like. Let's see, what else? Oh, we should be getting this picked up soon too. So that's really nice. I also like that it does a really good job of like telling you when something is coming up. So you just tell it, hey, I'd like to see this, and then it's like record and forget, which I do like.
Yeah.
Alright, let's rotate this around and let's do the same. This way they have a place to gather it to, and then it empties into a place that I can move and get rid of. Same thing with like this. Looks like they're really close to being done here. Which is good, it looks like. It looks like we have enough pies now that we could probably sell the pies in greater numbers than one at a time. So we're going to load up the pies by the wagon load. And we're now moving 5 pies at a time. Oh my god, that's going to take forever. Hello, baby.
You fixed my keystone, alright? We're about to see how this goes.
So I was trying really hard last night to tell you that your hand wraps were bad and you needed to turn them on. That's what I was trying to say.
Yeah, my hand wraps are pretty bad. I need to get some better ones.
I was more in the facetious mode of you were just getting dead.
Yeah, tonight was rough. The last night was rough, man.
Yeah.
Real rough. Anybody see the new Star Wars game trailer?
I have not.
Endgame? No. They're only showing...
No. He said...
No. I was thinking... Okay, never mind. Yeah, I don't know how much of the movie they're going to show in the trailers for Endgame.
Hopefully not very
Wait,
much.
he said Star Wars Endgame, so is it Avengers
No.
Endgame or is it Star Wars the movie?
He said new game.
New game.
Oh, game. No. I thought he meant Rise of Skywalker and
No.
not Avengers in the same one. And I'm like, the Avengers trailer is only showing the first half hour, so there's another 2.5 hours worth of content that we have no clue about.
Right.
Which is cool. Like, I'm glad, but apparently you won't guess the ending, so
Whatever.
I'm still rooting for Ant-Man to shrink down, go inside his butt, expand, and then the movie be over.
That's not gonna happen.
You know what's funny about that is that the directors actually come on and said, no, this is not going to happen, guys. Stop.
Well, in all fairness, Ant-Man, the actor for Ant-Man, took a snapshot
Well, yeah, Paul Rudd is a comedian. Probably one of the best, like, actor comedians right now. Love Paul Rudd. But it's just it's a unreal. If you buy into the universe, it is an unreal way to in that saga.
It is something that could possibly work, though.
No. First of all, you have to assume that Thanos has an anus.
Yes.
Which is
I am assuming
not guaranteed to be so.
structure have.
Well, have you seen him eat?
Well, you would think the same of Thor in it. We've seen Thor eat.
Sure, but
Thor's supposed to be a god, so
Thor's also humanoid-ish. Like, we don't know. You don't know what Thanos is like. Also, you have no idea how much he, how many butt clinches he does every day. And man might be working on it for a long time. Oh, you know what? I heard about the game, though. I saw some memes on this Jedi Fallen Order thing or whatever.
It
Like-
looks pretty awesome.
You think it looks good?
I think it does.
Yeah,
I think it looks like it has. I mean, we haven't seen game. That's not gameplay, but I think it looks like it has potential.
do I care about getting this grain out all the way out here right now? Probably not.
It's kind of like, you know, they're like Jedi's in hiding, and you have to like be careful with like who you trust and stuff like that. It's like the main theme of it. Bard, I posted it in the Discord and the general chat.
Okay.
Yeah, the thing that I really like, or the thing that I saw about it so far was, I don't know, I think it may have been a meme. They were promising not to have a bunch of extra content that was DLC or something, or pay for content or something.
It's an EA game, right?
Yeah, it's a game.
Then there will be.
Well, and then so in one tweet they said there won't be any extra downloadable or any undue content or whatever, and then like immediately thereafter they tweeted don't trust anybody.
Oh, that's pretty funny.
Yeah, so it's like back to back tweets or something.
Yeah, that's like the point of the trailer as it goes into that. Like, don't trust any.
Alright, let's start gathering this other junk that's in the way. Apparently that took a lot of money to carve out this much
My
land.
support is garbage.
Let's put you here. Let's get you on this. Let's get you on this. Get you on this. Let's get everybody who was right here not doing anything on mining this for now, and then we'll have a little bit of grains left, but not like millions. So this will take back over. This will get out of the way. Okay, that's fine for now. Yeah, I feel like this is a fine solution for a lot of stuff, but I have the feeling that we need to, instead of doing buses, we need to do small chunks of, like, small areas to work on and then bust those things out. Which almost makes me want to start over because I don't have a good way to, like, pick up all this stuff and then cram it in, but I think I probably could just move stuff around. I mean, everything on the buses need to be regathered, but otherwise I could probably just pick everything up and move it. Oh, Talab taken away from Titan. Thanks, buddy. Yeah, I tried to watch ads last night too while I was sitting here chilling out.
That was purchased.
Oh, even better. That means it was really loved.
I mean, a bot doesn't do that.
It's true. The bot doesn't do that.
That's alright. I had to get my jab in.
Jab it. What? What? I don't understand this attacking of the bot. What am I missing?
Titan kind of attacked me yesterday for spam.
Oh, yeah. Well, so I don't think he was attacking at you. I think he was trying to say that he didn't like the idea that he thought your posts were like a bot advertising for things, and he thought that was weird or something. I'm just like, but I don't.
Would do it if you had a bot.
Well,
Bot, you know, I'd do it.
yeah. I don't know. Sometimes that kid gets weird things in his head.
Yeah, that's just all it was. Just get
Oh.
my jab in when I can.
Alright, so we're still missing. What was our gold machine?
I think he's just young. I think that's all there is to it.
He is definitely that. I think this was our gold machine.
So Nickel Bull's got officially spoiled.
What's his... Oh, wait, never mind. I saw it. Like, he gets to do everything everybody else gets to do, and then
Better.
he, like, wins the game.
You can do better.
It's all about that,
Oh, look at that. Kaya is out of the gatewatch now. Oath of Kaya. Mayor's battlefield deals 3 damage to any target and you gain 3 life. Whenever an opponent attacks a planeswalker you control, 1 or more creatures, Oath of Kaya deals 2 damage to that player and you gain 2 life. Enchantment for black white.
That's not bad. So I need this barn to go, which means this setup needs to go at some point. And these guys are full, so this needs to go. Man, I tell you, I'm spending so much time playing Babysitter in this game, and not enough time playing Builder now. Again, I think it's mostly because I've expanded things quicker than I currently understand how to support.
You got a new land. That's a hot right now.
A new land.
Yeah,
Is that the one that blows things up?
yes.
Yeah, I did see it. Yeah, I don't know. Some friends were already complaining that it can't be set to 0. I'm like, well, it can. It's just,
You have to do some work in it, but it can.
yeah.
Because you could, what's that? There's like an old artifact creature that you could tap or add or move the truck.
Right. Okay, so let's... So what I want to do here really quickly is I want to set up a...
I mean, my brother, you're playing League of Legends right now. I don't think you have much room to talk.
I'm not talking about it though.
Why not? I don't understand.
Kinda like Paul calling Kettle Black there,
If you love something, you should talk about it.
Yeah, well, the last time I talked about WoW, you lost viewers.
That's
And you
fair.
told me not to. So,
Well, I didn't say you couldn't do it. I didn't say you couldn't do it. I never said you couldn't. I merely, however, teased you guys that I lost a bunch of viewers as you guys talked about WoW. Which is true. Alright, what do you... You know what? I don't know where you're trying to go or what you're trying to do. Come over there and stop doing it. There, how's that sound? Why don't you put it in there? Or, no, this is stone. What are you trying to do with the stone?
Yeah, anyway, I think I'm gonna get that Star Wars game playing on stream. If I can get it
early
day
on.
Yeah, get day 1, yeah.
Yeah, that's the that's the thing that I haven't really figured out a good way to do, is to pick that stuff up certain games early enough. Like, there are games that I'll get into and I'll be like, oh man, this will be the game that I'm going to get into early. It's going to be sweet. And then I'll get into it, and then it turns out to not be the kind of game that people want to get into. And I'll be like, how did this... I don't understand. This game is great. Why aren't people watching it like crazy?
And check that out. It's like a brand new Destiny.
Anyway, I think that... oh yeah, I saw that. That looks really good too.
Super good.
Does it have a Cade 6?
I don't know what you're talking about.
And it's not for me. The dude from Castle. Do you know who that is? Nathan Fillion?
Yeah.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
was a voice in Destiny.
Yeah, I think I saw
They
that.
killed him off, and then they wanted to know why people quit playing the game. Like, I'm like, huh?
We can't handle his death multiple times.
And then they created a comic, they created a comic that's supposed to be based off the real thing in which he's alive. So everyone's like, is he dead or not? Because if you bring him back, we'll come back. They're like, but his contract's up. We're like, well, re-sign him or we're staying away. They're like, no, we're not. And we're like, okay, bye. And then they're like, why you do this?
I mean, he's
Why do
doing
you
that.
think we do this?
He's doing that new show. He's probably pretty good.
Yeah, he is. But he basically said when Destiny asked him to do it that he would do whatever it took to be in the game. Because he's wanted to be in a video game since childhood.
Yeah, I mean, Nathan Fillion's one of those guys. But I don't know about... I don't know about what's going on in his head lately.
Stealing my CS, you garbage support.
That's how that game works, I thought. I thought everybody just stole... Everyone got the last hit in.
No, the supports do not touch.
Oh, they got a level 2? Come on, man.
They have a support item that gives them experience and money from when I kill things. They literally just have to sit there and make sure I don't get hit.
No. I think you're being a little hasty.
All Greek to me. I have no idea what he's talking about.
So in that game, it's basically XP on death. So it's like the person who hits it last gets all the XP from a kill. And
No, I'm talking about minion kills. Like, I was trying to farm minions for gold to buy items, and the support's not supposed to touch anyone.
Yeah,
They're supposed to
that's-
let the ADC farm and block poke so that the ADC can outfarm the other ADC. And at that point, they can get, like, assist gold, and they typically get full kill gold on assist. So all they have to do is touch the enemy champion, and they get full gold.
yeah, I don't know. Again, gold on kill or XP on kill or whatever has always been something I have not been a fan of. That's why I prefer HOTS instead, because it's team based that way and not enough population grace.
I played it, but I didn't, even while playing it, I didn't understand the concept. Like, I didn't, like, because I always played mid lane, so I was by myself, so I never really saw how the jungle or the support system functioned in that game.
It's the same as... So, like, thinking of it like HOTS or like the other games, you don't really need to stay to your lane. Everyone should move around as necessary. But basically, the thing is that,
League 2, it's just no one ever does it.
huh?
You're supposed to in League.
Right.
Texting me. That's 5.
But
My ringtone went off.
but anyway, they everybody works around and does things, but you bleh, my brain is not finishing my thoughts today. But it doesn't really make a lot of sense to just stay in one lane and do things. But there's a lot of objectives that pop up in HOTS, like in the middle, to do things. So, alright, what is going on here? We are suddenly running out on conveyor belts because we don't have any stone bricks. We don't have any stone bricks because my barns are empty. Well, what a strange happenstance. I have a bunch of full barns that need to be emptied. And I need a bunch of empty ones. See, this is what I'm talking about, though. I'm spending all of my time now playing this manually move barns game and not designing and building. Which I suppose is a valuable part of the game. Like, you have to still get... You have to make space to move and work in. But still, this is not my idea of a great time right now. Alright, so now this guy's knocking out his bricks, which means our conveyor belts are working again. That's nice. And this is a chain of what? Nothing? It's supposed to be a chain of what? Is it supposed to be a chain of... Is this a coal? Looks like it's supposed to be coal. Alright, alright. There's a bunch of coal. There's an empty barn. So, we don't really have a lot of money right now. This is feeding in at about as quick a pace it's going to go. A lot of our tree storage looks like it's gone, which is nice. A lot of our backlog of bricks are gone, which is nice. Alright, so we need to just clean this whole area up now, I guess. This I think was all bricks. This I think was all wheat. This was all wood. These guys are still collecting wood over here. This has got most of the woods out, which is nice. So yeah, we need to figure out how we want to, where we want to expand this resource gathering situation now. Again, this stone, we have so much stone. I think we can just get rid of this stone and be done with it. We don't have like infinite iron or coal or anything like that, so we need to be kind of careful there. We can harvest all these trees. We harvest these trees maybe, and this wheat. Alright, let's create an empty barn zone here real fast. And it does cost me a little bit of resources to build these barns, but not as much. Like breaking them will lose me things, I believe. Where moving them, I think, is basically free. I might be wrong though. And again, just to confirm, all these things are empty as we move them. what are you doing? Oh, you're still going all the way to that barn. Alright. Why don't you not go all the way to that barn? Same thing with you. Why don't you not go all the way to that barn? Alright. Quickly make sure none of these barns have... Oh, this one's still got wood in it. Okay, so this barn still has wood in it. This barn's got a little bit. Okay. So let's hook it up to there. Why isn't this going? Alright, so this should empty out pretty quick. And then got a little bit of wiggle room here, but not oodles and oodles. Alrighty. Oh, so all these barns should be... Oh, this one's not empty either. This one's got a bunch of wood in it too. Wow, a lot of these barns still have wood in them. Anything else over here? You've got a little bit. Right, so let's move you as well. Like I said, you got a little bit of wood left in you.
Okay, Shelly, try it again.
So those things should all empty relatively quickly. What are you trying to do there, guy? You're trying to figure out how to get out of wherever you're... Okay. Oh, what a disaster. Okay, so now this barn is empty. Put it in the empty barn category. This guy's got a few left in it, but not a million. Yeah, alright, let's just move this to here. And that should poof in here pretty quick. Alright. Now, to continue with our trend of deforestation, you figure out how we want to set things up. I want to try to get them more into longer lines, I'm thinking. Closer to the resources. Do I want to... These guys will continue harvesting this. I guess these are non-applicable currently. Was that?
Grixis mid-range is surprisingly good right now.
Yeah.
There's a lot of combo decks running around and just that even sanity really help.
Yeah. Deep Insanity is a card. People are finally kind of on it. A little harder than they were before.
Right.
Alright, so this barn is now hopefully back in action. Although, again, I think we have We have a ton of barns over here.
That sounds like you're getting a little frustrated there.
Let's see. My support didn't land a single stun the entire game on the one skill shot they had. The Yasuo mid lane was too busy flaming to pay attention to their own screen, so they got killed over and over and over again. The Fiora thought they were great and tried to do Yas's job and stole CS and then fed. I got turret dove by one of the most broken ADCs on the face of the planet, and they all seem to think it was all my fault.
Well, pretty normal.
That's cute.
Oh, not to mention my Rengar jungle had never played Rengar before, much less jungled, and didn't know the pattern, and didn't gain a single point.
I said pretty normal. Pretty normal for a style of game. Can't be upset when that's just how it works.
So I just lost with him at 4 life just because he top decked his explode.
Well,
Top deck 1 card and you lose.
never didn't have it.
Are you playing?
That's the truth. Magical. Yep. I had him control the entire game. 0 cards in his hand the entire game, and he top decks 1 card.
Get enough mana, it goes boom.
Telling you.
It's like me when I try to play Hearthstone. I'll get interrupted mid-combo.
Are there even interrupts in Hearthstone?
Well, basically there are spells that you can play. It's the opponent's turn that basically act as a nullifier. So, and then on top
So I'm
of
saying
that,
I didn't think they.
the combo that I play is random, and so I play all of my action cards up front to get as many as possible, and then it randomizes the order and plays it as a combo. So you're hoping on the RNG that you duplicate your card so that you don't run out.
So I'm saying I didn't know Hearthstone had anything that you could play it on your opponent's turn anymore. I thought it was hands off, take your
There
turn.
used to be spells. I don't know if it is that you could play on while it was the opponent's turn, but I don't know if they changed it.
Yeah, I don't remember there ever being that ability.
I play combination deck where it randomizes everything, and it plays all the action cards and from the previous hand. And the idea is that you duplicate this monster so that once it does its roar that removes everything from the field and puts it back in the player's hand, you can cast more of them. So the name of the game is making sure that you have enough that you get lucky enough that the order falls so that you have copies of back in your hand. And sometimes it just doesn't happen. Now thankfully for the most part for me, I'll already have copies so that if it doesn't happen, it won't be a problem. Because it doesn't usually happen my first roll, but I've seen it happen. Like the first time I play the card, it typically doesn't mess up. But basically, you can make it so the enemy player really can't do anything unless he's got a spell card.
Hmm.
You can freeze the actual character's weapon, and then you can freeze everything on the board and do direct damage to the enemy character while healing yourself. So as long as it's not a mage that does most of its damage by stacking the special effect of the Great Mage plus the spells in their hand, as long as it's not one of those decks, you pretty much win.
Suspect we're not talking about the same game. 'Cause a lot of the stuff you're talking about does not sound like Hearthstone.
So there's a card
It has been a minute since I've played Hearthstone. But that doesn't sound like Hearthstone. Alright, let's see. This is full. That's full.
I know there's a mage card that a mage deck is built off this card where it doubles your spell power, and there's other cards that you also do with it so that you can one-shot the enemy champion with a 7 mana fireball, and it's supposed to do like 80 damage or something, which is overkill.
Yeah, like that's something like that is probable.
The card that I'm talking about, Sherlock, they got rid of the dude that was 10 mana that you could only do it once, and there's a new way to do it, and you do it as a shaman, I believe. Shutter. Okay. So they created a card called Shutterlock, and basically that card repeats the action cards that you, the cards with actions that you played, but just the action part. It doesn't summon them. So you play cards that duplicate cards, and then you play the world breaker card that returns minions to your hand, and then you play that and hope that it duplicates it. And so when it duplicates it, it'll have its own card, and you basically keep stacking it. And the way that I have my deck set up, I have ones with chilling actives, and it just randomizes who it freezes. So unless they have a spell in their hand, the Shutterwalks will continue to freeze. Because I have a couple cards that have exact actions, and a couple that are just repeat every action cast that round. And so it'll double and then triple the amount of times it freezes. So theoretically speaking, every single Shutterwalk should freeze at least half a board in one turn. So unless he's got an entirely full board or mana, he really can't hit me. And after the first time I play it, theoretically speaking, I can play it twice a hand once I have 10 mana. I believe it's twice a hand once I have 10 mana. I can just basically spam it to the point where he can't do anything, and I just win. There's also
Well, again, it may.
I have that I can't play on stream, and I can't really explain how it works so that I won't get my account banned. However, basically, I play a card in a sequence of order, and by turn 4, it crashes the enemy opponent, and I win the game by default due to disconnect. But I typically only do that in scrims. I don't do that in ranked.
Yeah, again, and this is in Hearthstone.
Yes.
Unless it's changed a lot of that stuff. Some of that stuff sounds familiar, and some of the stuff sounds not at all.
Like all the mage stuff that I've told you about, you remember that, right?
Yeah, I think
It's
a lot of that
like
stuff
mage,
sounds.
he's worth like 7 mana, he doubles all of your like magic damage, and then you do plus whatever to magic damage other cards to stack it up to where you can one-shot with the fireball.
Yeah, but that was like a legendary critter or something.
Yeah. I think Shutterwalk has been created since you quit playing. I'll link a video to it in general.
Maybe.
But yeah, it's very
Alright.
popular. Disguised Toast loves it. You'll see him run it on stream. Or at least you used to. I don't know if it still works. I haven't played it a season or two. But back in January of last year, I know it still worked. That was about when the card came out. And it was still working in July last I played. And I think you'll still see, I think you can still see it played, but I don't think it's in the current, I don't think it currently works as a active duty pick or whatever you call it. But even wild, it still works. But I'm going to update the game and see if I can play it in wild. Because I haven't played Hearthstone in a hot minute.
And that is how Hearthstone players feel when Magic players talk.
Right.
Yes.
So I was doing pretty good at keeping up with both, and then things exploded a little fast for.
I heard Wordbreaker or something like that, and I just kind of thought, well, Vulture combo's a thing, right?
It is true. World Gorger combo was a thing. I ever tell you about the my most impressive tournament win. Actually, was against. They had just unbanned World Gorger Hydra, and
Dragon. World Gorger Dragon.
yeah, sorry, Dragon. And the only way that I could stop that combo was I had 4 Python Needles in my deck, right? And
Oh, I take that back. Shutterwalk is back as of 3 months ago, so it can be played in the current one.
so I had a mulligan to into a Python Needle, or basically lose to Bastard Quadus comboing off. And do I care about this pile right now? I do, but I don't want to have to mess with it.
Okay, so they nerfed the card because they nerfed Sheer Knight there's a card called Sheer Knight Chain Gang, and basically it was a card with the shield, okay? So that you couldn't attack the hero, so it was a shield card, and it would double it. And you used to be able to use that with a card called Shutterwalk and Grumble World Shaker, so that you would double your Shutterwalk and then World Shaker, and the World Shaker would remove everything from the field except for World Shaker and put it back in your hand. So when you would play Shutterwalk, you would hopefully, because it's randomized, you would hopefully double the card, or sorry, you would make a copy of the card and then you put it back in your hand, and the rest of your active cards would cast. Well, they decided that was too broken, so they nerfed it. However, they decided they found a way around it. So you can now kill it and resurrect. If you can still make copies of it, it's just they won't go in your hand because they made that whole part of Shutterwalks active. Instead, when World Shaker triggers, it kills it. However, there is an active that you can do where it brings back minions from the dead, and so it'll loop it. So when it brings Shutterwalk back, it automatically activates. The way that it works now is that it automatically reactivates the active of that card, and it will redo all of the previous loop for however many it resurrects. So as you loop it up and you've got 2, then 3, then 4, then 5 in your graveyard, basically one hand down, you can completely kill the enemy opponent now.
So, how did the Pithy Needle stop?
okay, so thank you, Bard, for that explanation. Appreciate it. So anyway, Pithy Needle, you needed some. The way World Gorger Dragon combo, at the time at least, worked was you would put World Gorger Dragon in your graveyard. You would use an Animate Dead or some sort of enchantment-based effect to bring it back to life. And then when World Gorger comes in, everything would cycle. Everything would like phase out or cycle out or whatever it's called, exile. And then because the thing that kept it alive exiled, it would leave play and everything else would come back in. And then when it came back in, you would re-enchant it basically and make stuff. But when stuff went in and out of phase, it would untap the lands, right? So you would generate basically this infinite mana by tapping your lands. Why the dragon was before it had phased everything out, blah blah blah, you would make all this mana. And then you would use Ambassador Laquatus was the kill at the time. For 3 mana, I think you milled like 1 card or 2 cards or something off your opponent's library. So if somebody named or had a Python Needle and named Ambassador Laquatus, there was no way to, at the time, a way for that combo player to win. So we had drawn several times. I was just playing like this generic black. In fact, it's still behind me somewhere, still assembled. But basically, I was just playing like this black hand trash, land destruction, beat you down with like Dark Knights or Pump Knights deck. It had like a bunch of terrors and miscellaneous junk like that in it. And all I would do basically is get like 1 creature down and then kill them pretty easily. But this combo deck was real rough. And I had won a game, he had won a game, and we were going to game 3. But there was a rule at the time where you could just set off the loop infinitely, and you never had to end, and that would draw the game out, and you'd have to play another game. So anytime that my opponent Chaz thought he was about to lose, he would just draw the game and he would start over again. Like that was his strategy to win. And he bought a lot of time doing this until such a point where we had gone, like I said, I don't remember exactly how many games we had played and ended in draws, but it was several. And we were shuffling up for another game, and I didn't have the Pithing Needle. So I mulled. I mulled to one card, Pithing Needle on the top. And of course, the mulligan rule here was if you didn't like your hand, you could mull it, but one less card. So I didn't have like a scry or anything like that to try to help fix things. So I kept a one land hand, which was Pithing Needle, nothing, and drew a basic off the top or something. I don't remember. Whatever. It doesn't matter what land it was, but kept my one land hand with Pithing Needle. Drew my land. Played my Pithing Needle. Set Ambassador of the Qualis. Go. Well, my opponent went, fine. I'll just kill you this time because you have no cards in hand. Like I'll just get you. So he waits for a long time, builds up enough mana, plays his dragon or whatever, starts attacking me with it. Meanwhile, I've drawn a few cards, get in a situation, like kill his thing, and generate like an overwhelming board presence. Well, at that point, I had managed to reestablish in such a way that he couldn't combo off again. Like I could kill his creature multiple times before the combo started or whatever. Or in response to break up the loop. So basically he put himself in the situation by deciding he could go for the damage kill because I stopped his combo kill. Yeah, it was pretty good. The boys at the shop still talk about that one from time to time. Alright, so this is clean, that is clean.
This is extremely impressive. This person I'm playing in Hearthstone has played 6 taunts for 6 turns. And it's a warrior with taunt quest, which means he gets 2 armor and all of his actors give him armor. Oh.
Yeah,
I don't know if my warlock hand will beat this.
The warrior guy's pretty good actually. A couple of guys were back when I was watching people play Hearthstone because I was trying to get good at Hearthstone.
Really annoying now. Oh.
And there's a lot of people that made that kind of armor deck.
Because not only does he have the 2 mana for 2 armor, not 1, he casts for another 6 and still played a taunt to finish the quest all in one hand. Oh, he got a perfect 7 taunts for 7 turns and finished the quest.
Congratulations to that guy. Alright, what do we got? We got a bunch of coal up here. Got a barn full of tomatoes. Is anyone putting this tomatoes for sale? Doesn't look like it.
But I guess I'll cast Hagatha and hope for the best. He dropped the Tyrannosaur.
I feel like he's speaking French to me.
Yeah, some of the things that are familiar and some of them are just not things anymore. Alright, so yeah, we're just gonna destroy the market with tomatoes now. Seems reasonable to me. We're now out of poop here too. Alright, alright. Let's go stick this barn in our barn storage. How are you guys? You guys empty?
A lot of blue.
Right, but he is active to use all of his armor as
Welcome to Hearthstone.
Mono blue aggro is the worst. It's the worst.
I really like it.
Just use all these taunts so you can't hit me, and then gain 30 armor, and then send it all at your face because you can't stop it. Okay.
Well, weren't you just talking about playing a combo that was equally cheese not very long ago?
Yeah, like 2 minutes ago.
No, yeah. No, and I mean, it's good. I mean, it's a timeless deck. It's been around since season 1. I mean, I'll give him credit. He got some of the best RNG on the draw, on drawing the cards that I've ever seen.
I said it.
Well, better lucky than good.
He got the full combo in 8 turns.
Better lucky than good.
Yeah.
Alright.
I even drew well, which is the
Isn't that always the kicker? Alright. Wait a minute. Is this... There's a hump. That's not happening. Let's flatten out this this hump here. Get everything nice and flat.
So I play mono blue and then I get to play exotic control. This is trouble.
You're having a good Magic Day over there. You get to see all the best decks.
All the fun ones to play against.
I know, people are... My local card shop are starting to say things that are a little bit on the crazy side.
Oh yeah, like what?
Like the Aristocrat Human deck is going to be really sweet next set.
I disagree with that.
Right? They're saying all the craziest things.
Yeah, that statement doesn't make any sense at all.
I mean, I think the idea, like, it's okay-ish now. Like the aggro Aristocrat style. It's not what I would consider, like, bomb diggity. But
Sorry, it was 2 mana for 4.
I do get it, but I don't know. I'm not sure they know what all these words actually mean.
You keep saying this word, I don't think you know what it means.
Yeah. All right, so we got that big old pile of stone picked up. We really need to do something about this farm getting moved.
Of course they have the absorb. It's because of the search for Canton. Of course they have the absorb. Why wouldn't?
I mean, it's Esper, man.
Right?
They always got it.
Always didn't have it.
Alright, tools, flatten terrain down. Let's just knock some of this down real quick. Let's try to keep at least a couple thousand gold here, though. Alright, let's move some barns.
I'm still on all the lands, so that's fine.
Alright. Let's clean up this forest. Part of me feels like a monster. I'm not even planting new trees yet. Like, I don't even care. I don't care about this forest. Just want it picked up. Alright, this grain mill honestly should just well, we'll keep it. Keep it for now. Alright, put this barn in the other metal pile. We stored up a pretty reasonable amount of iron over here. Raw iron, I'm impressed. Alright. Should I be doing the same thing with coal? How much coal do we have left floating around? You've got a little bit. You got some, but you're definitely running low. Oh, you know what? That's for into a machine shop. Machine shop's never going to take that. It needs to go into a forge. It needs to go into this. Is there a place that I can... There we go. Offload it like this. Now we have a bunch of iron. Can we sell the iron? We can for 1 blue coin. Silo's full. Alright, so we're going to turn that off. We're going to turn this back on. These wools make... I think they're 8 gold apiece to sell. Let's pull up the inventory again. So a wooden plank makes 3 gold, where a wagon wheel, yeah, makes 8. So for the cost of, is it 2 wood to make a... Yeah, so 2 wood. So basically we're making 2 extra gold this way. And just, I need to keep that yellow gold coming in at a much higher pace. Speaking of golds, how is our purple coins? Looks like we're out of fire. And that was running off of the poop from the barn, correct? Alright, well, we can fix that. Let's see. You now grab poop from here and deliver it to the kitchen. Yeah, that's right. I'm having the kitchen take an order of poop. Man, he's got to go a long way around to get to this poop, though.
Oh man, what kind of sweet justice would it be if I exiled, got a Teferi emblem off of my opponent's turn?
Oh yeah, you're going to steal a Teferi and then emblem it?
I think I might.
Does Bolus's clutches steal a Planeswalker?
He conceded. My thief of sanity stole his Teferi.
Oh, okay.
He conceded.
Like, did you do something sweet, like bounce it and then to the top of his deck and then steal it with your Thief of Sanity?
Yeah, basically.
Oh, yeah, that's sweet.
Alright, I'm gonna get a cup of coffee. I'll be right back.
Sounds good. Alright, so we're going to take this. I'm going to see, tomatoes around, they should roll, right? Oh, they do. Sweet. Alright. Move you. There we go. Everything is filling up nicely. This is
Order toast.
not full, but getting there. These are... Oh. We have another full barn here. so let's cram this barn up here in the rotation. The part of me who likes things nice and straight does not enjoy what's going on here. So let's straighten out this. There we go. Straighten up that curve just a little bit. I'd rather waste a little bit of resources and have everything be nice and straight than my OCD kick in super hard constantly. Alright, there we go. Alright, so this will be our wood inline here. At some point we'll build like a nice forestry probably somewhere. I don't know. I'm not going to make promises my mouth can't keep right this minute. Then we're going to continue to gather a bunch of these resources and get them out of the way. So I think basically right here. Ow? That doesn't sound good.
No, it's not. Okay, it's fine.
So we'll get these guys harvesting this grain. And then we'll empty from here. This wagon can, I don't know what that wagon's going to do. Get out of the way for now. We need, these guys are still gathering the stone. This stone is going to get in the way pretty quickly. Thought maybe I'd have a good way to move this, work this big old stone pile in. So let's just try moving some stuff around and see if we can get it comfortable.
How come you didn't come to the barbecue on Sunday?
I was there, you just didn't see me.
Oh, you're the guy with the lampshade on his head before?
Yeah, that was me, clearly.
I was wondering.
Yeah.
That's like a safe thing to do, to be honest. I mean, this DDO hat's not far from that.
Well, you missed out, Sam. It was good.
Yeah, I had a little bit. Just because you didn't see me because I was antisocial doesn't mean I didn't, you know, I didn't get an opportunity to partake.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. I do apologize for, but you were really drunk when I came by and said hi.
I couldn't help it.
Yeah. You're like, oh, love me some dragons.
It's true. True statement has never been said.
That's right. True statements are true, right? Alright, so let's see. I'm going to rearrange this a little bit.
Did you watch it yet, though?
No, we have not. I've not figured out how I want to get HBO yet for this season. And see, I like Game of Thrones. To, you know, like, I think it's an enjoyable show, and I will watch it.
No spoilers, haven't seen it yet.
But I'm not, like, in love with it like a lot of people are.
Right.
To me, it's just, it's a fine show. Where a lot of people are like, oh my god, it's the greatest thing since ever. And I'm just like, it's fine.
There you guys go. That's the original Shutterwalk when it first came out.
Well, thanks.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I probably won't watch it because I won't understand a damn thing it's going on. I mean, darn. This is a pretty after our show. My apologies.
So what is... Oh, because this one's full of junk. Alright. ease, we'll just go like this, I think. Alright, so why are we... Are we still turning... Okay, we're turning all of these bricks into... Or all of these stones into...
What were your guys up? Does he explain it? If he explains it, I might actually watch it.
You watch the combo in full. He plays the there's 3 games in there where he plays the combo, and you get the basic gist. Hold on. Here's Trump's video on it. This one he'll tell you how it works.
Okay. This is rolling in. That's doing its thing. These guys are picking up stone. I think I'm going to move this stonemason house setup to over here. Just to narrow down the walking here a notch. We have a bunch of these rails. What do these rails sell for? 8 blue. We kind of have enough blue. What's going on with the schools over here?
It's America.
Missing mana diamonds. Oh, I didn't know we needed mana diamonds. If I did, I would have been providing mana diamonds. Oops. Okay. Alright. So I'd like to build something, I think. And get, like, actually work on adding something new to the bus here. So, what do we need? What is the next thing that is actually important to us? I think that answer is probably going to be the metal gears and things that you make in this workshop. So let's grab a workshop from over here and let's dump this some wanker over here somewhere. For now, we'll take a look at it. So machine shop can make a gear for 1 metal and an iron wheel for 2 metal.
No. Wait, no, that'll work.
So if we just import metal, we can output gears and iron wheels. Do we want to do that off the bus, or do we want to have that just happen up here somewhere? So it probably should just happen, like that's high enough up the chain. Maybe it should just, maybe that part should not be on the bus, but then the gears and the wheels maybe need to be on the bus. It's close. I mean, we could bust this raw iron and do that. But if it's going to take 3 to output it, then we're just hauling this wagon around for a lot of nothing. What are you doing? What is this barn? Maybe this barn was supposed to be for the tomatoes and stuff. So we didn't have to have somebody like manually haul it over. Why don't you empty this pizza? And then I'll need fertilizer in here. What is going on? Why are they putting... This barn should not be doing whatever it is that they're doing with it. Put that over there. What is happening? Why is this not pizza. That's a pie. Why are we not emptying this pie? Please take this pie to me and drop it off in the food market. Take the pie to the food market. Okay, so
Okay, that was cool.
nobody wants my pie?
Wow. That's rude.
Alright, so this is weird. So this wagon can't seem to get this pie sold. Right? So the wagon is taking it to the nearest barn and putting it back in. Which is also the barn that I have the wagon told to take the pie out of and feed it to the food market. So now this wagon is just like trapped in this loop of going to and from the pie. Also, I know it's wrong. Although I'm not sure.
The wagon just keeps picking up more pie.
Yes. Okay, and what happened, now that I figured out what happened here, is that somehow the kitchen is getting something is dumping fertilizer onto my into my barn over here, which is throwing fertilizer on in the way. Don't understand why no one wants to eat this pie. Oh, did it actually sell it this time? Alright, sweet. Stop. I don't know what this is supposed to be for, so let's get this barn out of the way now. They have picked up all the tomatoes. Nice. Have to figure that stuff out later. Hey, morning, Slacker.
Morning, Slacker.
Alright. FYI, my screen is frozen. I hate that. Maybe... not sure why.
It's home for lunch. I'll be back later.
Okay. I wonder how long the screen's been frozen.
I don't know. I didn't know your screen be frozen.
So yeah, I have a window where it's not you don't see the window bar and stuff like that. And for whatever reason, that version it froze last week on us too, and I'm not sure why. Alright, steam power, mana power. Let's just do mana power, I guess, while we're here. Then you can do steam power, and I guess you can do mana power again. I don't know, whatever. Yeah, it was looking like right here, I think was the view it was stuck on. Alright. Is this all running? Looks like this barn is done. This barn of wood. Wood needs to go up here somewhere. Assume you're full. Yep. Look at me, Ma. I'm still a logistics bot. Moving around barns and barns. Alright.
Because of magic.
That's right, because of magic.
You don't even have to take them apart. You just kind of like float in the air.
Well, that's the whole idea, is that you're...
Yeah, our world would run so much more efficient if we had magic.
You know, I would agree with you.
Oh no. My opponent played a Donahoe. Oh no.
Yeah, I don't know how you beat that card.
I'm playing Grixis. I don't.
Yeah, Donna Hope's super good.
Flip Bolus or Deep Sanity and hope to get my Donahoe.
I don't know. Might be, maybe.
Oh god, they played 2 Donahopes.
Oh, the second one's not as good as the first one.
No, it's
See, this is the problem I was having before. Is now I have too much wood stocked up. And I don't want...
Oh, I know. I get them empty-handed, and then I use dispersal to make them. That's my game plan now.
Well, if you have one, you have one. Ah, right here. This is the window. This is what got me. So let's put a filter. So this is only flower.
My opponent just has it all. Just play Shalai too. And Najari. Oh, man, this is rough.
You did.
I think I am.
You did, sir. You did.
Yeah, I think I am.
Alright, so we're knocking out pies again. Pies are looking good. We have one girl carrying one pie at a time. I think we'll probably put that girl on hiatus. Just sell the pie to the specialty goods? You must have. Alright. Why don't you... Still feel like we should just be able to sell sugar straight in the store. Like real life. Just put her on vacation. Yeah.
Stack? He just played a taste of. What is this stack? Stack is sweet is what it is. I'm thoroughly enjoying this.
Alright, it looks like we need more oh, you don't need to be doing that anymore. Let's grab this stone, put it right here for now. I need... These barns are not doing me any good right now. They will, however, probably do me some good in the very near future if I make guys here. Alright. You go there. You go there. You go there. Then you go back to the first one again. Alright, and I have this flower, or this barn is done. So we will teleport this barn up here because magic. And we'll grab a empty barn. Teleport it down here because magic. I mean, so to be fair, I can turn gold into flattening the ground. I mean, that seems pretty magical to me. Man, this is expensive to do such a tall area. more do we need? Just want to get all this down where people can get to it. Okay, so there's a bunch of iron there. Another full barn of iron, raw iron. Just keep filling up these iron barns for now, getting these resources out of the way of where we're going to put our bus. Again, because we're storing all this iron over here, I feel like, and we have all this coal, kind of feel like maybe we should just go ahead and build it. I just don't have this massive pile of stuff to bus over there. So what if we built it here? What if we made this a little iron forge? The problem is that we'd have to bring in every resource that we're going to work with. Oh, there's coal up here. So theoretically we could get coal eventually. But all of the iron still would have to come from far away. What else could we do? We could... I really feel like this needs to be with the magical zone on this side. Thing is, we started this too close to what we have. This can go away though, like these two. Like this little... This little market really was just a hack to sell the potatoes and then the carrots and then the stuff that was right there. I don't know, I'm having a hard time. Like, the nice thing about Factorio and playing it so much and seeing it so much, it's really easy to visualize a bus and how you want it to work. Also, the really nice thing is that you know how far it needs to go. Like, because of the undergrounds belts, excuse me, it's really easy to pull things on and off the belt. Like, here you have to build ramps over and then back down, which is essentially the same thing but backwards. But for some reason it's much harder in my brain to visualize. And because you have to go 2 up, you have to double the amount of space that you do. So unfortunately that means to do a bus like we're doing right now, you have to do 1 at a time, which is kind of a beast.
So I found a way to beat Gone Hope with Ursa.
Yeah?
Yeah, you hit them in the face really, really hard.
A lot? Probably is probably a fair mechanic. Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of things I really like about how this particular game is played. But I just don't know if we're going to be able to continue to do this bus-like mechanic.
You're not enjoying Factory Town as much as you used to?
I still am. It's just, I'm not... So I wanted to try to build it more like I would play Factorio. Right? And the thing with Factorio, the way I like to play it is I build what I call, or what people call a main bus. Right? Which means you have the lines of these raw materials, or sometimes even processed materials, and then as you need them, you pull them off, you work with them, and you either put the items that you consume back on, or whatever. Right? So like in this situation, if we kind of look at it, I'm pulling wooden beams off, I'm pulling iron off, putting it to a workshop, and I'm outputting reinforced beams. Right? Makes sense.
Yeah.
But now I need to also create gears and iron wheels, and both of those things take iron plates. I could take the iron plates off of this bus and pumped turning things back on, but now we're talking about taking just a massive amount of space to do that, because it takes you have to have 2 spaces on each side of your new line. So now to add those 2 things to this bus, it's going to cost me 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's going to take me 8 rows across of space, which I have, but it's starting, because the ground is so uneven. That's something in Factorio that you don't realize. The ground is even in Factorio for the most part, unless there's something in the way like a tree or water or something, a cliff. Where in this game, because it is 3-dimensional, you have to end up spending a lot of your gold to flatten the ground. And it's really hurting my resource development. So I think if I were to do this bus system properly, it would involve... And I would have to have like a flat ground. I wouldn't be able to do like this river and valleys thing. Alright, so let's keep making forward progress on this while we think about the problem we have created and how we can fix it.
Sounds like a plan.
See, there's another tree. Are any of these trees done? Are you done? Alright, you're done. Man, these things are so big. Alright, let's put a little bit more barn storage over here for this iron so I don't spend all of my time moving this iron really quickly. So let's rotate this barn. Set up the nice big pile of, get this iron out of here. There we go. Guess you guys can help with this iron while I continue to think about it. Alright, so theoretically, if you're making iron gears and wheels, what would this look like? An empty barn, because of course everything will go into a barn when it's done. Probably like that. Actually, maybe not like that. So let's, a little bit of realization here. Got a what?
Pack of Ravnica allegiances.
Ooh.
I wonder what's going to be in it.
I bet it's going to be shards.
Yep, that's exactly what it is.
Alright, so we load up these 2 barns. We have a short one that goes boop like that, and we have a longer one.
So did you ever pull the trigger on the pre-order?
No. Not sure how I'm gonna handle. I'll probably just do some drafts. I have a bunch of not a bunch of shards, but I have a few shards.
I'm gonna get a bunch of codes that might release and get them out on stream.
Yeah, I'll probably have, because I always do like I do so many pre-releases. I'll have a bunch of codes too.
Yeah.
I won't have a ton to give away on stream, but I'll have at least 2 or 3 for people that are interested.
I usually try to get as many as I possibly can.
Yeah, I usually have a couple of friends who they don't seem to make it to pre-releases, but they like doing the event occasionally.
Yeah.
Like Tobrel will be that way. Alright, so what if we grab...
I'm definitely going to be giving mine away, so I'm going to take one for myself and then...
Well, that's... Yeah, if we could have more than one, it would be a different story, but...
Oh, yeah. If we have more than one, I don't know. I might give like 2 or 3 away if I got them. Actually, I don't even know if that's true because I don't really like to draft.
I love draft.
Yeah, I know you love draft, but I don't, so I don't know that I would actually give my codes away.
Well, those are... they're sealed,
They're
yeah.
sealed.
Which I'm less...
I don't like limited. So.
Yeah, I'm less of a fan of sealed.
See, I'm more of a fan of sealed than I am draft.
Alright, so if we go iron in here, and you just make iron plates, and then we put... That probably can't go on a chute, though. That allows no buffering of iron plates this way. Do I need a buffering of iron plates? Probably not. Alright, we'll assume that we don't need a buffer iron plates here. So now, how do we want to put in the energy for this? Do we want to do a... What's this barn? Oh, that barn's the mana crystals. You guys are... Wow, we went through those really quick, didn't we? This one guy harvesting coal is not going to be enough to keep up with all these guys trying to get coal. My favorite book. That is a good question that I can go on a very long rant. And guess what? I'm gonna. While I try to think about how to handle this. So my favorite book is The Healer by F. Paul Wilson. The Terry is like the prequel that he wrote to The Healer. So, and I read The Healer first. I read The Terry first. So often my brain puts them in that order, but it is definitely The Healer is my favorite book. So The Healer by F. Paul Wilson has a pretty interesting concept, in my opinion. Wow, we don't have enough people? Huh. Where are all my people at? There's a bunch of people over here. Let's, oh, there's a bunch of people that aren't even working. So, someone asked me the other day what that book is about, and I tried to summarize it without giving anything away for people who might want to read it. So I'm going to give it another go. But basically, in the far-flung future, mankind has moved into the stars. And in part of settling on new planets, often hard work took over the ability to like taking care of kids and stuff like that. Ended up taking backseat to like putting food on the table. So a lot of cultures after moving into the stars digressed into less civilized cultures, often like feudal states and stuff like that. And the main hero of the book, his name is Stephen Dolt, and his job is to go undercover on these different planets and see if people are enlightened enough to move into a back into the intergalactic space community, right? So basically he's like a space social worker kind of deal. And what ends up happening is on his first mission that we see in the book, he ends up on this feudal planet. He gets chased by a bunch of crossbow wielding maniacs, and he gets chased into a cave. Well, on this particular planet, there are creatures called Errands, I think is what it was called, after the first guy who got murdered by one. And basically what happened is anybody who goes into a cave, eventually they'll have this life form fall on their head, and this life form basically kills everyone who touches it. Well, it turns out that that doesn't hold true for everybody who touches it, just most people. And Steven lives, and he has no idea why. Well, it turns out that this little instinct-driven creature merges into his brain, and he develops a second personality that can that lives in his body and has the ability to control his body down to the molecular level. So almost as a reflex, this creature keeps his cells from degenerating and basically makes him theoretically immortal. And it's kind of his adventures as a pseudo-immortal out there in the universe. So there's a lot of discussion about like his love life, a lot of discussion about his career life, stuff like that. And yeah, I've just, for whatever reason, that particular book I've always loved. You might, for those of you who do know F. Paul Wilson, you might know him from his, I think it's Repairman Jack series. Yeah, the Repairman Jack.
I'm really keen on the Drake books, and I'm really keen on the Path of the Warrior, Path of the Seer. It's Warhammer 40k. They're LR stories. I like those a lot.
Yeah, I have.
The first one's really hard to get through, but once you get through it, it's really awesome because it's a 3-book series, and each book tells the same story, but from a different perspective. So, like, the first one's Path of the Warrior, and it follows a striking scorpion as he goes through battle. And then the second one is Path of the Seer, and follows the Seer who's going through the same battles, but seen from like a totally different angle. And then the third one is Path of the Ranger, which is this guy that like gets exiled from his community. He's going through these battles as well, just like as a ranger. So completely different, perspectives, and it's really cool to see the differences.
Yeah, I have a hard time reading any of the like Forgotten Realmsy type stuff.
Well met.
Yeah, I don't know if it's just the fact that I don't care for that world, or I mean, I'm sure that's a big part of it.
It's high fantasy. If you don't like high fantasy, yeah, you can't really get into it.
So here's the other thing. Like my second favorite book series, or maybe even my favorite book series, is I'm gonna say it wrong and I'm gonna feel like an ass. I've always called it the Rift War Saga, but that's actually grown beyond that. And it's by... I'll make sure I'm saying this guy's name right. I think it's Feist. Yeah, Raymond E. Feist. Now, that is a high fiction fantasy world, but it's not as magic centric, I guess I want to say. So like there is magic involved out there in the world, but it's more of like it's much more mundane. So that and I don't know. It's just set up in a way that I guess in my brain it makes more sense.
Right.
To me.
If you ever get a chance to read those the Path books, I think you'd enjoy them. They're sci-fi, really. You know, I mean, it's Warhammer 40K, but that first book it's a slog to get through because it takes like I don't know if you know much about like Eldar society and 40K, but it's they strive for like perfection and like basically they go through their lives and they move from like career to career. Like once they master a career, they can't just be happy with being the master of that career. They have to move to another thing and try to master the next thing. So like this guy is a poet at the very beginning of the story, and God is he whiny. He's just so whiny and it's hard to get through. But once you get through it, it's really good.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I might check it out at some point. I said I'm looking for something new to read, but I kind of want to pick up the Magic the Gathering stuff and try to get through some of that lore. I think we need to double the amount of forestry stuff that's going on here, because this is the other problem I'm having, is that because you can only put one item on the bus at a time, it definitely feels like it's having a hard time going. I don't know. I'm not sure if I'm explaining it correctly.
I put the omnibus there in the general check.
Oh, for that book series?
Yeah, $17.50 for all three of the books and ebook.
That's not bad.
Yeah. It's not super long either. Like if you're a fast reader, you can probably get through it pretty quick.
Yeah, that when I get into a book, like it goes pretty quickly. I used to knock out like at least a book a week for a long time. But now with the streaming full time, I don't get that done like I used to. I've been meaning to get back into reading more.
Yeah.
Because I enjoy reading, I like reading, and I like a lot of non-fiction books too, is the thing. And
My thing is that like when I try to read, like since my vision's so bad, I have to hold the book real close to my face.
right.
So I either strain my eyes trying to read it, or my arms get tired from holding the book because you can't prop it up against your legs or up against your desk or whatever. I have to hold it up, So it's like one part of my body is getting tired.
Right.
So I can't read very fast. I'm a fairly fast reader when I can read, but it's like I can't. Reading's very uncomfortable for me.
Yeah, in your situation, I'd probably do a lot more like audiobooks. Like I know Beef loves his audiobooks.
See, I can't process it. If I'm not reading it myself, I can't process it. So, like, when someone's, like, reading something to me, I'm like, okay, I heard the words that you said, but I don't understand what you just said.
Yeah.
You know, like, a lot of times when, like, people are like, oh, hey, here's this really sweet magic card, and they'll read it off, and I'm like, okay, I understand that you're reading a magic card, and I understand the basic gist of what it does, but let me see it so I can tell you.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I've been there.
My LGS doesn't have a judge, so a lot of times, like, we'll be playing, and, like, somebody will be like, judge, and I'm like, we don't have one, what's your problem?
Well, it should be you now.
I really should get my judge certificate, but it's so much work.
L1 is not as bad as it could be.
Yeah, well, you gotta go take a test, and, like, you can't even take it online or anything, so...
That is true, and the reason why makes a lot of sense once you do it a couple of times. And I'm gonna be straight up, judging is probably the hardest thing. Because it's not always easy for people to be fair and impartial, even though they like to think that they are. Somebody is going to get their butt hurt at some point.
Yeah, see, for me, I just don't care. Like, you're playing a game, you made a mistake, tough.
That's not the problem. The problem is that because you're busy being fair and impartial, it often is, like, difficult for people to realize that you're doing your best to be unbiased. So, like, I'm trying to think of a good example here. Recently, we had a tournament where a guy... Alright, so this is iron.
Well, see, here's the thing, Sam, and I apologize, but I have to break your rule for this. The LGS guy that we have right now, the owner of this LGS, he's complete shit. Like, he doesn't get magic rules right. When you tell them that he's doing it wrong, then he's just like, well, I don't think it should work that way, and it's my shop, and it's not going to work that way, you know? And it's just like, well, no, that's not how this works. Like, that's not how a game works. Just because you disagree with a rule doesn't mean that you can just veto that rule, you know? And so basically, the reason we don't have a judge is because he doesn't want us to have a judge. You know what I mean? So even if I went and got my judging certificate, like, for me, the only reason I want it is so that I could go judge some of these tournaments and get the judge promo. Like, that's really the only reason I want it, you know? And eventually I'm going to own my own game store, which would be nice, but, you know, it's just one of those things, like, for right now, I can't even judge my own LGS, you know?
Well, that does put you in a hard spot. If people are unwilling to follow the rules, then, I mean, that definitely puts you in a tough spot. Because that is the thing that makes it where we're all on the same side, is, you know, following the rules.
Because, like, I've seen the LGS owner blatantly cheat before, and I called him out and be like, hey, that's not how that card works. And he's like, nah, that's how it works. I'm like, nah, I can show you the ruling right here that this is why it doesn't work. And he's like, well, it's my shop, so it works. And I'm like, that just drives me.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like you need a different LGS. I don't know what...
He's run off a ton of people.
Well, that's just it, like...
Like, he's already said, like, I'm not interested in this anymore, I want to quit. And I'm like, okay, well, I'll buy you your inventory out. Like, I don't want to be, like, attached to his name whatsoever, so I'm like, I'm not going to buy your store, I'm going to buy your inventory.
Right.
You know, but...
Yeah, I mean, it's
He wants, like,
rough.
$100,000 for it, so...
For his inventory.
Yeah, for his inventory.
Doesn't sound that bad, depending on what he's got.
It's not that bad. I mean, he's got some decent stuff. I mean, he doesn't have, like, any power. He doesn't have, you know, I but like.
Oh, it sounds like then he doesn't have anything.
I mean, he's got some old booster boxes that are probably worth some value, but I don't know that it's like when I'm saying 100K, I'm talking like shelving and tables.
Right.
You know, like
everything inside the store.
Like everything he owns.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Things get hard and complicated really fast when you're looking at pricing out somebody's inventory and stuff like that. It might be a little high. It might be fine.
Part of it is he's not just a card store. He's also like, you know, he's got D&D product. He's got, you know, board games. He's got
Well, yeah.
X-Wing stuff.
Well, that's because you can't really. It's really hard to just be a single.
Yeah. Now, my biggest problem with him is that he doesn't push 40K. Like, he has, like, a couple of boxes of 40K stuff. And I'm like, dude, you need to push this. He's like, well, I don't know anything about it. Like, I don't know anything about the game. I don't know anything, like, how to play it, what to buy. And I'm like, okay, well, that's fine. You either learn it, or you hire someone that does it. And he has someone that does it, but he still doesn't push 40K. You know, and it's just like, this, you're leaving money on the table. Like, 40K is such a huge cash cow.
I mean, I think it really depends on where you're. It really depends on your group. It might be a really good cash cow where you're at. Like for me, it's not great.
Well, we've got a very large Warhammer 40K community, and the nearest Warhammer 40K shop is in our drive.
Yeah, it sounds like it'd probably be pretty good for you guys.
Yeah.
But again, it's a rough spot to put. You're doubly putting yourself in a rough spot, right? Because on one hand, this guy needs to not be in the card shop business anymore, or the hobby shop business anymore. It's just, it sounds to me like that's a true statement. I don't feel like this is violating my rule of talking bad about somebody. It sounds like this is a guy who, this is not where he needs to be anymore.
Well, and what he told me too is that he said he really enjoyed making the business. Like, he really enjoyed buying the business, fixing it up, but now that he has it, he's bored with it. He doesn't like it anymore. So I think like what he needs to do is go into like flipping businesses, flipping houses, stuff like that. Because that sounds like what he enjoys, you know?
Yeah. Well, and I don't know if this is a good guy or bad guy or, you know what I mean, but it's.
I'm not going to go out and have a beer with the guy, but I mean, I hang out with him every Tuesday night in a social situation. Like, he's one of the guys that plays in the Pathfinder game. It's actually technically his personal Pathfinder game because we go to his shop after hours. He closes the shop up and we sit around and drink and play games. It's not a guy that I'm like, hey, let's go out and have a beer, but you know, I like hanging out with him. You know.
Yeah. Well, I said it is rough because he definitely is making mistakes, and on one hand you wouldn't mind helping him, but on the other hand, he needs to be out of business.
One thing that bothered me was, so we have this guy, and we'll name him M, okay? He is extremely spiky. He is one of those guys that goes, he goes to every tournament, you know, he always has the best deck. He'll throw thousands and thousands of dollars at a deck, okay? So for a while there, we had Commander Night at the shop, okay? It was a casual Commander Night. Everybody was pretty aware that this is a casual Commander. So him, he decides, well, I'm going to bring, since this is casual, and there is packs up, so like the shop owner is like, we're going to get 2 packs to the winner, and then everybody else gets a pack. Like, the shop owner is really into this whole, like, everybody gets a prize no matter how good or bad you do. But, so anyways, M says, well, I'm going to build Marlowe Lucifer as a commander. Now, I don't know if you know anything about Marlowe Lucifer.
Sure.
It is extremely spiky, very consistent, you know. And anyways, so M wins every week, okay? Because everybody's bringing their janky, kind of does nothing decks, and he's got this very tuned, highly powerful deck. So the shop owner says, well, no, you don't do anything on Sundays. You're open on Sundays, but you don't have anything going. Make us, you know, a CEDH tournament. You know, do something for the competitive people. And he's like, oh, I don't want to do that. I don't want to go through the work of putting it together. And I'm like, the work of putting it together is literally just, hey, we're doing a tournament.
Right.
Like, you know, it's not that much hard to, it's not much work to put it.
We're going to expand our ADH stuff to also include a competitive one on. I mean, again, it's if it's a person who doesn't have the vision, then you can't. You're trying to lead the horse to water. And again, this is where I just say that unfortunately, it sounds like this is a guy who needs to be removed from this particular business area, because it doesn't sound like he's got the. He doesn't have the, like, he probably wanted to, but.
My biggest thing is that at this point, I would consider him a friend, and I don't want to see him fail, because I don't want him to, you know, push himself into debt. You know what I mean? And that's where I see this happening, is because, I mean, I go in there, and there's just nobody there, and his hours are really weird, too. Like, his hours, he opens at noon, and then he closes at, like, 9, and it's just like, those are kind of weird hours for a hobby shop, because your clientele is going to be a lot of, like, you know, school people, so, like, you shouldn't open in the middle of the day where you're not going to have it. You know what I mean?
Well, so this is where I would disagree. I mean, it depends on what else he's got going on, right? But I'll tell you, like, the arena, we open, like, I mean, actually, I have to pull up our store hours to actually 100% tell you exactly what they are. But they usually are open at 11. Okay, so it is 11. Monday through Wednesday, we close at 6. So we close early on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Right? And usually what happens, like, Mondays, every other Monday, I go in and run a magic event, which is after hours. Usually Todd is around sometime in the evening working, you know, because he's a store owner. He's going to be there until his stuff's done. Like, he's listing on eBay, and he's selling product, and, you know, like, he's going to be busy. He's a small business owner. You just give up all your time when you have a small business. I mean, look at me streaming this game. And it's like, we could do something more. We could do more every single day, but it's such a pain. All right, so now Thursday through Saturday, he opens at 11 and officially closes at 8. Right, but then most of those days we're open much later unofficially. Like, we have board game night on Thursday, we have Friday Magic on Friday, which basically keeps us there to like midnight most days. But those are official hours of operation. Now, does he have unofficial hours of operation, or does he just, like, GTFO?
No, he comes in, well, actually, kind of, because he comes in whenever the hell he feels like it, and then when it's time to close, everybody, you know, he's technically open noon to 8 o'clock is his hours. Okay, so he has an 8-hour day. But there's been times when, like, I've showed up there like, oh, I want this new set, and this will be like the day after it releases.
Right.
I'll show up at noon to go buy a box, and he won't show up till 12 o'clock. You know what I mean? And it's just like, okay, this isn't okay. Like, you know, if you have a business hours and you're gonna stick to that, stick to business hours, but don't, like, fluctuate with them. You know, you need to have consistency.
Yeah, I mean, these are all true statements too. Yeah, I mean, it sounds like this is a guy who needs to not be in this business. I mean, yep. Alright, let's put some of these guys to work up here, getting some of these grains. Alright, but I want to expand. I want to get this coal starting to get out. So we're going to have to put some guys on the coal. This guy doesn't look like he's doing anything. Put him on coal. Anybody else standing around not doing anything? A bunch of these guys are doing nothing. So can you stick that in there directly? No. Alright, so we're just going to delete a couple of these guys. Again, this is a giant mess, and I want these guys getting this out, but we just do not have the... Oh, this guy can come work on coal as well. I need to get this... I need to start getting this coal pulled out, because we're expanding this direction some, and we need to have it kind of dealt with, tidied up. The same thing with this iron. This iron needs to get moved at some point here. This barn needs to go someplace and be used. Now this I think is a super barn. I think it's your regular little bitty barn. So we need to remember that. I think this is an upgraded barn. So instead of holding 50 at a time, I think it holds 100 in each tier. Alright, so let's see. This goes up here. This guy is good. It's another full barn. I don't know. And it depends on your clientele. Oh no, what did I move? That's not the building I wanted to move. I don't think Talab is back yet, but I'm going to finish this thought while I'm thinking about it, or at least work on it while Talab is gone, so when he comes back I might be able to finish it. But clientele is not always obvious to us consumers when some people will come in and do some of their business. Let's go here. Alright, we have quite a few gears and a reasonable number of wheels. So now can we build these harvester drill people? It takes 2 people though. I want to see what this does. So let's go ahead specifically here and get a couple of these guys to deposit their resources. Man, we got it. These barns just do not hold enough. Okay. So let's you deposit. I want to get you come over here and you come over here. Alright, you two go on vacation. Okay. So because these guys cost so much, these harvester drills, we don't want to just blow them back up. Like, we're not going to get back our gears and our iron wheels and stuff. We get these people back. So can you harvest this and put that there? Yes, and you're very quick. Alright. We can start letting some people go here. These guys are all fine. Alright. Yeah, this is nice. Alright, let's upgrade a second harvester drill. Like that. And then we'll probably need more of these harvester drills, like over here. But we'll worry about that in a little bit. Alright, so let's get that out. Let's flatten this little hump. Alright, nice. Nice. Okay. This is going. These guys are working the best they can. The stonemason is emptying pretty quickly. Let's go ahead and clear off some of these workers as we notice that they're coming back. Okay, that person wasn't doing anything anyway. Alright, let's make a couple of these harvester drills. This should be roughly the equivalent of 4 people. Right? It looks like it. So, we're now taking 2 people to do the work of... Or have 4 people do the work of 8. Yeah, we need to probably move into this a little bit earlier in the future here. And a lot of this stuff works in piles of 4. So, like, doesn't this take... Yeah, this takes 4 stones to make 1 brick. So that'll hopefully chug that a little bit quicker. Alright. We got a bunch of stone over here. Same thing with this. It is possible that maybe it's time to get rid of some of these things. I don't know, we'll see. And then, what else can this thing harvest? Oh, we don't have enough people. Can we upgrade our houses any? Not really. So, do we need to build more houses? Is that what needs to happen? Oh, there's a couple houses to upgrade. Alright, and then, yeah, looks like we need to build more houses. So, sweet. Upgrades. There we go. Alright, so now we've suddenly taken our population from 192 to 236. Looks like we can build up to 6 more houses if we wanted, so sweet. Let's build a couple more of these harvester drills. I'm curious if they can, what all they can harvest. Can they harvest trees? Alright, so you can't do trees. Alright, good to know. So let's get them over here at this coal then. Actually, why don't you guys do coal, and then you come over here to this. Oh no, they put the... Oh, that's funny. Not funny, haha, funny, oh no. Alright, let's put that there. Let's put an empty barn here. They filled up this barn with coal. And it's because this barn was flagged for anything. Mana crystal. Set all this to mana crystal. So that doesn't happen again. Nope. Mana crystal, please. Alright, so what's going on? Alright, this guy's working. He's just slow. Okay. So what's going on? These guys need... These all need mana crystals? And we were out of mana crystals. So... you're trying to get the mana crystals from there still. There we go. Workers are doing their worker things. You're trying to get mana crystals from here for this building. Oh, there we go. That should be fixed. Alright. Now we have the population. Let's increase this. Turn that all the way up. It's 1:40. I'm getting hungry. Also, CJ is going to be mowing the yard this afternoon. So we need to wrap up pretty close on time so we can get that done. Alright, so what I want to do is I want to start having... see if this guy can mine these things. So I don't have to like build a fancy mine. Yeah, it looks like he can. It's going to be a challenge though. Hauling things back and forth, but I just was curious if it would work. Where are you going? Apparently that's the closest barn for this resource. So we'll take this barn and we will slap it somewhere, and we'll take this barn and we'll put it over here. Then we'll reline this barn up. There we go. Should get all that working again. Yeah, if we just keep carving this big valley into everything, I'm not sure what's going to end up happening, but I'll be okay. Alright, we have a good supply of purple coins again, finally. Looks like we have a bunch of coal again. Alright, so we have a bunch of iron, we have a bunch of coal. These guys are clearing trees like it's going out of style. Need to build a forester over here, I think, at some point. Something kind of like nice and surrounded by trees. Although maybe that can wait and come back way back over here. But I think this idea of a bus is wrong. I think we need to be making a... Oh, we're low on lumber again. Yep, we are. And I think I need to be building a... things in modules. Alright, speaking of modules, let's clear a little bit out of the way, and then we will alright, that whole forest down. Sweet. And then we'll move this barn so we can get a little bit extra storage in. Just so it's hopefully a little bit quicker before when I notice that we're stuck. I'd like to get a nice path through here so I can move these this farm up here, basically. That's the idea. The farms will go up here. Oh, did I click the wrong button? I did. You know, it might still be a better idea to farm this a little further away, even. We do have trains now. We haven't played with trains. It's possible that we just want to train some stuff over, right? Just set up like a big farming, like especially in a big area like this where everything's not flat, but we could set it up to grow in. Or like this. This would probably be really strong, actually. We're a lot of gold away from buying that thing, though. Feel like we have not added as much to the bus as I'd like to. Alright, what's the next big thing that we can make here and do stuff with? We haven't looked at any of this power stuff. Steam generator. Uses water and fuel to produce power that can be routed with steam pipes, granting performance bonus to connecting buildings. Mana receiver provides an outlet from the mana grid so items can be returned to the world, usually so they can be recharged. What I'd like to be able to build is the enchanter. It is hidden behind mana power, which is what we're currently studying. Yeah, we're almost done. Alright, so this is full. This is going as quick as it can. See, the problem is that I think we need even more of... So in Factorio, you know, we're kind of used to having like 5 different things output onto a belt, because the belts can hold, you know, like 12 or 24 or 36 or whatever this magical number of items per second. Where this doesn't seem to have a similar equation. It doesn't matter if you're talking about a piece of paper or a reinforced plank or a wagon wheel or a nail. Everything seems to take the same amount of space, which makes things a little tougher. I'm really tired all of a sudden too. Okay. How's this barn? This barn is full, so let's move this barn. Try to keep the wood coming in here. This should be the mega barn here at the end. So I'll take a little bit longer to get going. Hey Ben, thanks buddy. Well, I think I've decided that this particular style that I'm trying to play is not going to work the way I want it to work. So, trying to figure out if I can transition out of it again, or if I need to just keep going with it until it aggravates me to the point that I start over. So, I'm trying to do a bus type system like I would in Factorio. And it is not working the way I want. And it looks like I've also managed to soil my belts here too by having these barns point the way I had them pointed. Alright, so you need to come join the appearance, I guess. But yeah, I just I think it's going to take far too much room to be able to work the way it would work in like a Factorio. So basically everything right now that I currently have kind of going, how can I figure that out later. Like, how can I... Did that work? Yeah, okay, that worked. So, like, right now, to get everything hooked up to where I already have things running, I'm going to have to move this farm, which is fine. That's not the end of the world. But because it takes so much room, it's going to cost me a fortune to dig into this mountain. And I'm spending all of my time right now just clearing space for this bus. Like, I could have probably built a whole bunch of stuff in here. So, yeah, I think we're probably going to end up having to start over again pretty soon. Just because I don't like how things are going, and I don't think I have a way that I could necessarily fix it, you know? Like, I don't have a good way to clean up this mess and tighten it back down. Although, maybe. Guess I could pump everything into... Like, stop pumping things now and then pump everything into some sort of storage facility. And then start making more fractionalized type building. I don't know. Unfortunately, or fortunately, we're actually really close to the end of the build time, so fortunately I can pause soon and think about it a little bit more. Unfortunately, I don't want to sit here for the next 10 minutes and talk about how I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Alright. Let's see. What can we do that we know we're going to want to do if we continue playing this? I think it's obvious that we need to start a spot for our coal barns here. I think that's an obvious thing. So let's start by doing that. What were you doing? Were you grabbing grains? Probably. So do we have any place that's making grains anymore? I don't think so. So let's grain right up here. What were you doing? Were you also a grain person? Give me those grains. Alright. Which means it's probably getting close to time for this to start another little grain thing. So, in addition to wanting this iron ore out of the way soon, we need to get a good farm set up. So let's build another farm. build some farm tiles, I think all through here. Should be pretty nice. And then we will apply water, grow grains. We're going to do the same thing on this one. Apply water, grow grains. And it's like, no, you don't have any grains. Oh, don't worry, we have grains. It'll take it a minute, but we'll have plenty of grains. Alright. So we're going to let those grow grains like crazy here in a second. And then that'll get pumped into this grain mill. And this grain mill is basically just going to get set up to make pies. And I think that's what we need to do. I think in the future we just need to build these tight little units that output the thing that we're looking for. So like here we're harvesting all these grains. These grains probably just need to go straight into you just need to set up the chains to go like straight into the grain mill, straight into the kitchen, making the stuff. Alright. So I kind of wonder, can I skip this altogether? Looks like I can. Just output that directly into there. And then this will continue to also pull if they're available at the same time. Alright, what can I do with this grain mill right now? Because again, I feel like this kitchen needs more grain than that. This kitchen needs multiple grain mills because it takes every 10 seconds it needs 4. Now we're having a little bit of sugar issues. Maybe we're fine. Maybe we don't need this grain mill here. Maybe we need a sugar mill someplace instead. I don't know. Ooh, looks like we're full up on this again. So let's move our barns full of coal. Should empty quite quickly. See, the nice thing about the farms is once they get started, there's no additional cost. So we can just make grains forever, basically, which is nice. You do something with all this fish, too. Oh, here's a bunch of grains. I knew we were harvesting grains somewhere. That we're going to want to be emptied. Apparently the question, it was here. So this thing is missing fire. Alright, so what you're telling me is this guy needs a bigger coal. Is what I'm hearing. Which coal is in this? It is full. That did not take very long at all. There you go. Now you got all the fire you need. I should not see a issue with breads not getting just dumped into that thing. Okay, what's your problem? Okay. Move the crate to this crate storage over here that doesn't do anything. Move this silo someplace out of the way for now. We don't have any. Oh, this guy's full. Barn full of rocks to the barn full of rock zone. Okay. Let's click on this. Make sure that this continues to only make mana crystals. So like this obviously needs to be more magic forges than we have here. Like it's clear. We're gonna need like a bunch of these. Yeah. Hey, welcome back.
Bendy throwing me, I see. Can't afford to get into a good war with you, Ben.
Well, they don't let me watch like one cat.
It's more than the rest of us have gotten to watch the last few days.
More than the rest of us got to watch the last few months.
It's weird because I purposely started following like some streamers that have a ton of people. And I'm still not able to watch a lot of this.
Yeah, I think it's more about territory. Does it actually say if you look Twitch ad bits?
Which, you know, during major holidays, I'm able to get a ton of bits.
Well, that might just be because there's not a lot of people also eating the bits for that ad campaign.
Because they have like families and loved ones they're paying attention to.
Theoretically, yeah. So, like, maybe, I think it was Talab maybe who gave me this theory where an ad has so many, like an ad campaign sets so many bits, like per day or per hour or whatever, that they'll give out at a, and then there's only so many of those bits each time frame. So then there's so many people trying to get those bits that they get eaten up. And once they're eaten up, they're...
Yeah, that was me.
Yeah, I mean, that's as good as theory as any. For the...
The bits are like digital currency.
Well, they are currency.
Yeah, they're definitely that, but what it's saying is it's taking from a pool. So the you know, the closer you get to whenever that pool refreshes, whatever time that is, you know, the better chance you have of getting those
Right. So say like there's 500, like the ad campaign has purchased, like, okay, you can watch my ads every hour on the hour, but I'm only going to do 1,000 bits every hour. So then the first group of people who go in there and eat those ads take up all the bits for that hour, and then there's no more bits for that region. Or it could be a day, it could be a month, you know, it just depends on the...
And these bits are just companies buying advertisement.
Correct. That is Talab's theory, or at least from the gist of what I got from Talab's theory, and I think it sounds pretty sound to me. Can I say any more sounds in there? Probably.
So I just emailed my tattoo artist. Looks like I should be having new emails in the next couple of days.
Nice.
At least that's what he's saying he hoped.
So if you... Did you find a good, like, cartoonerized...
I'm gonna look right now. So should I just search like royalty-free clip art or?
Well, theoretically, probably. But a lot of these are going to end up being... You're going to greatly reduce them anyway. So, like, the very first one here is Stutterstock.com's hat. Like, if you decide you like that one, but, you know, we're just going to change that red band, I don't think you're going to have to worry about it. Copyright stuff like that is usually for people who have much bigger...
Right. Actually, I see kind of two of them that I like. Maybe one for the upper tier, like the year, and then one for the lower.
Alright, why aren't these guys working? Harvestone, put in this barn. Huh, is it because this ground is uneven? You don't like that?
Yeah, I mean, I don't mean to ask, but I mean, if it's something you can do for me, that would help me a lot.
Yeah, I mean, that is not, I can't do, there's a lot of things I fully admit that I'm capable of doing or not capable of doing, but, changing the color of a band on a top hat and then making it the right size is something I can do.
Oh, this one doesn't have a band.
Alright, I think I'm just gonna get rid of this lake altogether. I did not make that higher, did it? It kinda looks like it did. Yeah, I have no problem helping you out with something like that. I mean, you help me out with a ton of stuff, so it's an easy way to repay you for all the stuff that you've done for me. No problem. All right, can you get this stone in particular, please? Alright, well, I think this is good for now. I will probably work on this a little bit. We'll definitely stream this again on Thursday. I just don't know what we're going to do. If I'm going to be honest. I don't know if we're going to try super hard to convert this into units. I don't know if we're going to try to keep this bus idea going. There's a lot of things about it that doesn't make a lot of sense to me. And, I mean, I've got less than probably 20 hours into this game now. Might be getting close to 20 hours. And I'm still struggling with some of the concepts in certain places. So, it is nice to have a problem like this, where you're trying to figure out what to do and how to do it. So I don't mind that. I just would like to get a better idea of what I need to do.
Don't forget we got an Apex stream to do too.
Oh yeah, sometime. Alright, I think with that, everybody, I'm going to get out of here, get some some lunch, and then get dinner going. So you guys have a good one. There's not so many people here that I feel obligated to raid somebody.
There's some links in there that you guys should click, like the patreon.com/Samius.
Yep, that would be nice.
That you can push, like the subscribe button, or the biddies button, or the follow button. If you're not following Samius, you should.
Yeah, all those things would be good. Alright, everybody. Hope you have a wonderful day, and we'll see you guys in a few hours. Toodles.